Hey, this has been a video I've been wanting to make for literally over a year now. I never got the chance because it's always been such an emotional topic for me to talk about. I don't know why. I just remember this day being the most emotional day of my life. It was awful. And a few days ago, it happened 1 year ago that day, and it dawned on me and I was just like, I want to talk about it. And hopefully this message will make you guys feel like you're not useless, because you're not. I'm going into 10th grade on summer break. If you really have been on my account for a long time, you probably remember me talking about it, but I still get questions about this and I really wanted to cover it up. And I've always wanted to message my middle school and just tell them how absolutely disgusting John G. Borden Middle School is. I really hope they see this video. So my middle school, it's 7th and 8th grade, just 7th and 8th graders. Obviously when I was in 6th grade transitioning into the middle school, it was obviously huge. It was it was petrifying. It was so scary. I remember saying to myself on the first day of 7th grade, I don't know why I remember this, but I do. I remember sitting saying, I'm gonna get through this. And I remember saying to my mom, I can't wait for the day I walk across the graduation stage. Middle school graduation. I looked forward to that day for 2 years because I was waiting for that I did it feeling, you know what I mean? So I got through 7th grade. 8th grade was a struggle. I really struggle with math and social studies. This is my opinion, not trying to hate on this teacher, but I strongly disliked my social studies teacher. She's a great woman, awesome, but she was just not my kind of teacher. I was absolutely petrified to go into her class. Every time I left that room, I was crying. I was always the first person out of that room when the bell rang, and I was always the last person in it because of how petrified I was of that woman. And I always tried, Anna, don't ever let yourself be scared of a teacher. That's not necessary. I could not get over how upset this teacher made me feel. Did not like her. Don't think she should be a teacher. She's an amazing human being, has an amazing personality, but the teacher was not my kind of teacher. And I asked teachers for help all the time, and she was just a teacher I could never ask for help because I was so scared. And she just never made me feel comfortable. And I feel like a big part of school is if you're going into an environment every single day, if you're going to school, you should feel comfortable in your own school. You should feel safe. I never, ever felt comfortable as soon as I stepped in that classroom. I couldn't ever be in the same hallway as her. I just couldn't stand her. Cried like a baby every day. I couldn't. Was absolutely petrified. Every time she talked to me, I'd freeze up. I turned into a completely new human being. She literally changed me. I really struggled in social studies because of her. And obviously I wanted to learn, I wanted to get through social studies, but it was really hard. Math, I had an amazing math teacher, amazing. Mr. Durago, he is a great guy. I cannot complain about one thing about him. He has helped me so much. It's not even funny. He's literally the only teacher I could ever freaking talk to. Just an amazing guy, and it was never any of his fault because I'm really bad at math. I'm just really bad at it. It's just a very hard topic for me. And 8th grade math was really hard for me. I feel like 9th grade math was easier for me, but 8th grade math, it wasn't his fault. It's not his fault at all. It was hard for me. Math has always been hard for me. Math and social studies were just my two biggest weaknesses. It was getting towards the end of the school year, and obviously I went and I picked out my graduation dress. I got everything ready. I was excited. I was so excited to finish the year strong. I wanted to pass all my finals. I was studying my butt off for these finals. I was trying so hard. I was so excited for graduation because I was so excited to go into high school and be like, I did it. I made it through the 2 worst years of my life. I made it through middle school. That's what I was looking forward to. I was so excited. And it sounds dramatic, oh, you're just walking across the stage. It's not that big of a deal. But it was a big deal to me because school has been always so hard for me. And that would have been a huge accomplishment to me. I remember sitting at lunch with my friends, and I don't know who said it, But there was a rumor going around saying, oh, if you fail 2 core classes, you are not allowed to go to graduation. And I was like, that's not true. I was like, stop it. When I heard that, I literally shut down because I'm just like, I'm so bad at math and social studies. I'm so bad at it. I went home, talked to my mom. My mom's like, that's ridiculous. So the next day I went into the guidance office and I told them about the rumor I was hearing, and they were like, oh, that's true. I was crushed because I didn't know if I was gonna pass math and social studies or not. I tried upping my game as most as I could, even though I was giving it already all I got. I wanted to go to graduation more than anything at that point in my life. I tried so hard to pass those finals, get through it. 65 average, that's what I wanted. I ended up failing them. I remember going down to the social worker literally 3 times a week, telling her, like, please make sure I walk across that stage. I want that more than anything. I remember telling her, like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I got this. I ended up failing my 2 classes, and I remember sitting in my room, and my mom came into my room bawling her eyes out. I thought someone died. I was like, what the hell? I was like, what's wrong? And she's like, I just got a phone call from your school. I'm like, okay. She was like, they don't want you at graduation. I lost it. I was beside myself. I remember just breaking inside. Like, I was looking at my dress, and I was just like, bought that for nothing. I remember the next day, I went to school. School wasn't over yet. And I went to school. It was the last day of school. And it was the last day of school, and then the next day was the graduation. So it was a Friday, and then the graduation was on a Saturday. So I went to school Friday, and I remember at 12 o'clock on that school day, the whole 8th grade was going to a rehearsal to practice the graduation, to practice the order. Everyone was going to be standing just to practice walking across stage, whose hand to shake, whatever, just the rehearsal for the graduation. I wasn't allowed to go. The whole 8th grade left. They put me in the library. I'm not going to get emotional. Like, I'm not going to get emotional. So they put me in the library to sit, because I'm not crying, to sit until 3 o'clock, and they were waiting for my mom to pick me up because I wasn't allowed to go to the rehearsal. And like, I remember sitting there, and the librarian came over to me and gave me a piece of paper and colored pencils to color. And I lost it. Like, I was just so upset. I remember, and I was the only kid sitting in there. I ended up getting picked up. My mom came and picked me up. As soon as I saw her, I was like hysterical. Like, I was like, I can't believe how disgusting a school would do this. And it's just annoying because, like, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but like, I didn't deserve that. Like, all the kids who failed were drug addicts. They constantly smoked. They didn't give a shit about school. They never gave a shit. Those are the people who should not be allowed to go to the graduation. And the funny thing is, I knew every single one of those teachers, and I tried so hard, and they told me all the time how hard they knew I tried. And still, none of them let me walk across that stupid stage, and I don't know why I cared so much, but I did. And, oh, it's not over. So, I remember just crying myself to sleep that night. And obviously all my friends were going to graduation the next day. So, and then like after the graduation, everyone went out to dinner. So, I ended up going to support my friends. And I went with my best friend Ari. And, everyone was in their dresses. I brought flowers for my friends. I sat in the audience and watched every single one of my friends walk across the stage, give all their teachers a hug, and just have that moment that I really wanted to feel. And I sat and cried through that whole graduation. And I remember my mom telling me, oh my God, you had balls for going. And I wanted to be there for my friend because, like, they deserve that. So I went, then after the graduation, I was just trying so hard to hold back my tears. Absolutely ruined me because of how disgusting I felt and how useless I felt. They told my mom it was a punishment. Fakest school. They told me how much of a great kid I was. I never got in trouble, never got detention, never got yelled at by a teacher. Never freaking got caught doing something I wasn't supposed to. They always told me I always tried my best, always did that, and then they freaking backstabbed me and didn't let me go. And every single teacher knew how much that graduation meant to me, and I couldn't go and walk across that stupid stage. So, Borden Middle School is the biggest piece of shit school I've ever freaking been to. The rules there are awful. If I was ever like a teacher in the future, if I ever heard that to be a rule, if I knew kids were feeling like that, I would never want to work there. So I appreciate the teachers that fought for me and said really nice things about me. Just wanted to put that out there. I absolutely think that school is gross. They didn't give a shit. I just wanted to say thanks. I'm going into 10th grade now. I'm still going. And even though that effect gave me that moment made me feel like I wasn't gonna make it any farther in life. That's all that taught me. That whole moment put me in so much stuff, so much therapy, so much medication because of how disgusting I felt about myself. Sounds dramatic, I know, but I was really hurt. Just to let you guys know, Borden Middle School, I will never ever thank you, ever. And I'm in 10th grade now, and I'm kicking some ass. Thanks for giving up on me. Awful school. If you ever want to feel bad about yourself, if you ever want to feel useless and worthless, go to that school. Okay? Okay. Sorry for getting emotional. I'm glad I actually got to talk about it and cover up the whole story. But yeah, that is what happened. Just know if you struggle in school, you're not the only one. And you guys can always reach out to me no matter what. You are not a test grade. You're not a stupid number on the corner of a paper. It's just a stupid number on the corner of a paper. It won't matter. I love you guys all so much. My DMs are always open. I love you guys. Peace out.